Hello VC, this is my 90s and modern day pressings video. Got quite a bit here to show. Yeah, shall we get started? First of all, like the shirt, I thought I'd go for something a bit different today. And it's certainly that. Right, 90s. I have this album, Sybil, Walk On By. This was sort of 89, 1990. It's got 2 years on the back of it. So I've included this in the 90s. Yeah, it's just a basic album of Sybil. Yeah, it's alright, you know. I've also got this one, Sybil, Good and Ready. That's a really good tune, Good and Ready, When I'm Good and Ready. The Love I Lost, it's also another very, very good song of hers. During, I think, 93, that sort of time. 2 very good songs of hers. And yeah, I think that's just those 2. Yeah, getting ready. Yep, very good songs on that one. I have a Beach Boys compilation. I think this came out in 1990. Love the Beach Boys. I collect all the compilations, all the greatest hits, no matter what it is, and on vinyl or CD, I buy them. I love the Beach Boys. So yeah, glad to have this. I think this was a charity shop find, a couple of quid or something. So bargain for me. I got Bobby Vinton, Blue Velvet. This is a very good album of Bobby Vinton. Blue Velvet was a song which they re-released in 1990, I think, maybe 91. It came from an advert, a Silk advert, I remember, as a child, and they released the single again. And I think my dad went out and brought it, and yeah, some childhood memories tied into that release, and this is a very good album. Christopher, this I think was released in 92, and I've given it a listen. It's all right, you know. That's the Power of 10. Another charity shop find. This was 99p, which is, I think, pretty darn good for a 90s vinyl. Dinah Carroll, So Close. Very popular album. I think this is perhaps the top seller of its year. 93. Very, very popular. Includes 6 hit singles. Yeah, so glad to pick that one up so cheaply. Gabrielle, this album has her single Dreams on there, which I just absolutely loved when I was, I don't know, 10 or a bit younger than that perhaps. No, it would have been about 8, I suppose. Yeah, so picking that up. I think this was an eBay purchase a year or 2 ago. So yeah, special purchase price at $3.99. Yeah, oh well. Moving on. I got H-Town, Fever for the Flavour. There's a few hits on here I like. H-Town, that's it. Knocking the Boots. I really like that song. So yeah, I found this. I think it was a charity shop find. I think I brought it on eBay, and the seller had the CD as well. So I brought that and the CD, and plus I found another copy of it on a charity shop somewhere. So I have actually 2 vinyl records of this album. Sometimes I like buying like an upgrade copy or just another album in case perhaps someone comes over and has a look through, and I can give them a record, you know, if something they pick out they like and I've got 2 copies of it, I can be that person who says, you know, you can have it, you know, get them perhaps into it, you know, if they're just starting collecting. Jimmy Witherspoon. This is a 90s pressing. Spoon So Easy. Recent pickup on eBay. So yeah, giving it a listen. Sounds very, very good. One of my absolute favourites, The Hollies. Compilation came out around, I think, 93, with an exclusive release song on there, The Woman I Love, which I got on 45 up there somewhere. Yeah, I love this album. I love The Hollies, like the Beach Boys. Any greatest hits compilations I buy on vinyl or CD or cassette. I picked this one up at my local record shop. It's Kylie Minogue, Rhythm of Love. This came out in 1990. So yeah, I like a bit of Kylie. Oleta Adams. This was an early 90s release, I believe. Yeah, 1990 again. Rhythm of Life is on there. And the album is called Circle of One. Omar. There's nothing like this. This is superb. Well, it's not a superb album as such, but the song, There's Nothing Like This, is just a superb R&B track. I think he made that song in like a day and released it, you know, not soon after then, and became a one-hit wonder, I guess. Career never really took off after this album, unfortunately. Sort of faded out like a lot of them do. But just love this song, absolutely loved it. Such a smooth R&B tune. I like a lot of 90s R&B. Got quite a few 12-inch singles of 90s R&B. A Paul Simon one. 90s. When did this come out? Yeah, 1990. It seems a lot of my albums were years of 1990. And The Rhythm of the Saints. I don't think I've listened to this yet. I've got no idea what it's like, but I imagine it's, you know, it's all right. I think this is a charity shop find. You know, £6 I'd pay for this, unless I got it cheaply. I might have got it in a sale actually. I think the shop where I bought this was it was a charity shop, and I think they were doing everything like half price or having a clearance, and I'm sure I didn't pay £6 for that. Rolling Stones, Sticky Fingers. This is a 90s release, and yeah, just a greatest hits, I guess. Brown Sugar, Wild Horses. Yeah, it's a bit of an iconic one of theirs, this one. Glad to have it. This is a local find, recent find, the Righteous Brothers. This came out 1990 on the Verve label. Yeah, just two of their great songs on here. You Lost the Loving Feeling and the Unchained Melody. 60s tunes on a 90s clean pressing, you know, for £1. What more can you ask for? It's like records immaculate. So Status Quo, the great Status Quo, Rock Till You Drop. Yeah, 90s album, this one. Trying to find the year, 91. I actually met this guy from the Status Quo. He paid a visit to my school back in the day, and I think I know he's got a guitar here, but I'm sure it was him on the drums at the school. He had like tied back hair. I'm not really sure of the band members. This is a long time ago now. This is like 20 years ago. Since he came to the school. yeah, he gave a drum demonstration and chat to us like a whole year, and we asked questions, and yeah, it was a good day, that was. So yeah, status quo. This is a very recent pickup, Monica, and it's just got that great song on here. Trying to find it. Before You Walk Out of My Life. Lovely R&B tune. Yeah, and a pretty good album actually. This one. This cost a little bit of money. This one. And last of the 90s. I don't have many. I don't have this one. Del Shannon, Rock On. This featuring Jeff Lynne, Tom Petty and Mike Campbell. So as soon as I found out about that, I brought it. Anything to do with these guys and Del Shannon, yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. It's a definite, yeah, I've got to buy that. And it's got the, trying to think, song, what was released. Not sure which one it was now. But anyway, I have that. This one is special. This is my modern pressings, my noughties and onwards, and sort of like my 180 gram records. Beatles #1. I brought this on CD as soon as it was released in 2000, and might have been 2000. Yeah, the Beatles #1, all their #1s, and there's a load of them. Paid quite a bit of money for this. It's all but perfect, apart from a slight mark there. But yeah, apart from that, great to have it on vinyl. Gave that so many listens on CD when I brought it. Another Beatles, Help, on 180 gram. Yep, another album of theirs I'm glad to have. I'm getting close to having them all on record. The Beatles, Hard Day's Night. This is their second album they released, and it is a great album. They really conquered like the 3-minute song on this album. They were masters at it when this came out. A lot of people say this is their best album. I love the tracks. I should have known better. If I Fell, I just love that song. If I Fell. And what else? Can't Buy Me Love, I'm sure was a hit. And I Love Her. That's a really good song, and I love her. If I Fell and If I Love Her, and I Love Her. I think perhaps one of my favourites of like the B sides. Yeah, great album. I'm rambling a bit, I know. Beatles, Abbey Road. Yeah, this is the studio one, not the new release. Still paid a pretty penny for it, $24.99 HMV. I think a year ago. Yeah, arguably their best album. Here Comes the Sun. It's just a terrific song. Come Together, Octopus's Garden. It is a great album. Glad to have it. The Beatles, Revolver. I brought this year from my local record shop. It so happens to have a sealed copy. So yeah, glad to have this. Eleanor Rigby, I'm Only Sleeping. I love that song. Here, There and Everywhere, Yellow Submarine. Yeah, great album. They all are. Beach Boys, Surfer Girl, classic. Look at the picture, it's just terrific. The Beach Boys. In My Room, what a song. In My Room, Little Deuce Coupe, sorry. Yeah, glad to have this. Anything Beach Boys or Beatles. Their best album, and perhaps maybe the best one ever made, maybe. The Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, terrific album. You know, all the work Brian Wilson put into this, of all the people he got to build this album is incredible. You know, his ability to piece music together like he does. You know, this was groundbreaking when this was released in the 60s, and it will be up there. God only knows what a perfect song that is. Wouldn't it be nice? Great tune. Sloop John B, Caroline No. Yeah, it's such a good album. I believe Brian, when he was making this, I think I brought his paperback a little while back, and I was reading it, and he said he wanted the listener to feel like they've been loved. You know, the music's supposed to sort of, make them feel loved, and it does. You fall in love with this album. It's just a great album with very nostalgic tunes to the songs. Great one to have. Another great album, Miles Davis, Kind of Blue, classic jazz, and yeah, pleased to have it on a modern pressing. This was 2012. I don't think it's 180 gram, but yeah, glad to have it. A modern Frank Sinatra one, Only the Lonely. This is a recent purchase, so yeah, glad to have this. This is a very nice sounding Frank Sinatra album. The best selling or best ever album of the 90s has to be Oasis, definitely maybe. This is an incredible album. It's nothing compares to this in the 90s. Oasis' groundbreaking debut was the best-selling debut album of all time when this came out, and held the record until I think Susan Boyle's album came out. Up till then, this was number one. Great album of the 90s. Great to have it. And others of theirs a little bit later on. Standing on Shoulders of Giants. This too is a good album. Not as good as the previous two, of course, but still good nonetheless. Go Let It Out is a very good tune. Who Feels Love? Sunday Morning Call. Yeah, is a very good album. Glad to have it on vinyl. Trying to collect them all, Oasis, on vinyl. Paul McCartney, Red Rose Speedway. I'm trying to get all the Paul McCartneys. I saw this and thought, yes, gotta get this. You know, I paid $23.99 HMV. It's packed full of bonus tunes as well. So yeah, worth picking up. I bought the special edition Paul McCartney Egypt Station. Paid $29.99 in HMV. I think it was last month. And yeah, glad to have this. I had the standard album on CD. I loved it, and thought, do I get the same again on vinyl, or do I get this? And I went along with this, and I'm pretty sure this is probably going to go up in value sooner or later. Excuse me. Quick drink. Excuse me, drinking out of a bottle. The Rolling Stones, Out of Our Heads, UK. Great band. And yeah, it's a pretty darn good album. I think it's one of their early ones, I think, this one. Yeah, good to have this. This is an album I've been after for a while. And I pulled the trigger on it a little while back. So yeah, starting to accumulate a few more Rolling Stones. Got the Let It Bleed one as well. Very pleased to have that. Great 70s album. Modern pressing. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Doesn't get much more better than Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This is their debut album. Breakdown is a great tune. Anything That's Rock and Roll is a great tune. I think that's their first song they released in '77 in the UK chart. And American Girl, I'm sure, was #1. Fooled Again, I'm not sure they released that. I know that was on the B side of Anything That's Rock and Roll. That's also like a very, very good tune. Fooled Again, I think perhaps is even better than Anything That's Rock and Roll. But there you go. Good album, very good debut album. Perhaps his best one, Full Moon Fever. This was under the production of Jeff Lynne, where Tom Petty had a solo career in the late 80s. So during the period they were doing the Travelling Wilburys. I think he might have done this bit before. No, it was '89. This was, so he would have done the first Travelling Wilburys in '87 and then done this. Yeah, arguably his best album. It probably is actually. Free Falling is a great tune. I Won't Back Down is a great tune. Love Is a Long Road is a good tune. Facing the Crowd is a very, very good tune he released. Running Down a Dream, I think he released. And yeah, great album. Glad to have it. Delighted to have this. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, greatest hits. Great album this is. This is just packed full of hits. I mean, every tune is just brilliant. You know, I'm so pleased to have this on vinyl and on CD. Yeah, this is an improvement over the greatest hits, which came out in '93, and that was like absolutely great. And yeah, pleased to have it. Delighted, in fact. A recent pickup. Ben Webster meets Oscar Peterson. Love Oscar Peterson, and I saw this on eBay, snapped it up. It cost me £10. So yeah, glad to have it. This is a band, a punk band I really liked in the late 90s. And that's Blink-182. This is a great punk rock album. Wasn't their first. They took quite a few albums to get to this sort of height when they released this. Bought it for a great price of $12.99, look, in HMV. Yeah, love this album. A lot of teen memories listening to this when this came out. And yeah, every song on here is great. Great 90s album. And their follow-up one after that, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, is perhaps equally as good. the very best of Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Greatest hits here. It's 2 LPs full of his greatest hits. What more could you ask for? So yeah, glad to have something modern of Buddy Holly. Love the cover. It's great. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys released an album 2015. Wow, I brought the CD of it when it came out, and then I later on brought this. This is a pretty good album of Brian's, actually. I know a lot of his previous albums haven't been perhaps all that great, but this is certainly a bit of a comeback. Might be his last album he does. On an Island is a great tune featuring She and Him. That's a very good tune. The Right Time also, that was the song he released. On an Island and The Right Time. That features El Jardine and David Marks. Yeah, not a bad album at all, actually. A classic. Highway 61 revised. Classic album. Released in the 60s, I think this was. Glad to have it. David Gilmour, On an Island. Yeah, I brought the CD of this first and really liked it. Sometimes I buy the CD first because they're cheap, aren't they? And you know, if I really like something, I can get it on vinyl, and normally that's what I do. It's got the song also On an Island, like Brian Wilson one, but that's just a nice sort of peaceful song. It's just gorgeous to listen to. I think he was a part of the Pink Floyd band, David Gilmour. Yeah, it's a pretty darn decent album. I have a feeling this album will probably go up in value as well eventually. Deep Purple, Machine Head, an absolute classic rock album. I think this is perhaps my first 180 gram vinyl I brought. Brought this in HMV last year, and yeah, great album. Very recent find. Jimmy Witherspoon on 180 gram. Great to have him on something modern. Very good album, this one. Did have some commercial success, but not too much to be sort of recognised, you know, on the modern scene. Tales of America, J.S. Ondara. He was recommended by Matt Hayes a while ago now, a few months ago, and I pulled the trigger on it on vinyl. I've actually brought 2 CDs as well. I think I bought the vinyl first actually this time around. American Dream is a very good tune. Torch Song as well is a very good tune. And Saying Goodbye is an excellent tune. And yeah, it's a very good album, worth picking up. He has that soul voice, it's just gorgeous. Bit of rock. Linkin Park. This is a classic Linkin Park album, Hybrid Theory. This is sort of at the time when the Blink-182 one was released. You know, that and this one, and Limp Bizkit was also at sort of a similar time. A lot of my friends in school liked one album more than the other, and you'll either like this one or that one or whatever. High Bird Theory, yeah, this is a very, very good rock album. Paper Cut, great tunes. They're all good tunes. It's a classic. 90s classic rock, if you can call it that. This is an exclusive on vinyl. You can get it on the website Vinyl Me Please. It's an exclusive issue to them. You can go buy it on eBay, but you probably will be paying a premium price on there. Mariah Carey Daydream. This was released in 95, and I reckon it's her best album she released. Fantasy is a great song. One Sweet Day, Always Be My Baby. Yeah, this is a great album. I'm so pleased it's been released on vinyl again. The original pressing is through the roof. So yeah, pleased, very pleased to have that. And yeah, if you go to Vinyl Me Please, you could probably pick yourself a copy if there's copies going. I highly recommend you do, because I reckon this will probably go out in value as well, sooner or later. Noel Gallagher, High Flying Birds. I have this on 180 gram. Very pleased to have it. Probably Red Hot Chili Peppers' best ever album. They've been going for a darn long time, Red Hot Chilies. I love their other album before this, Californication. That was also, excuse me, a very good album. But I think this is just a shade better. This could be like a greatest hits. It's so good. Dozed is an outstanding tune. I'm not sure if they released that or not. By the way, Universally Speaking. Yeah, there's so many on here. It's a very, very good album. This too is a very, very good album. This is like a greatest hits in itself. Semisonic. This was, I think, one of the best sellers of 1998. One of the best albums. Very, very good album this. I've listened to this hundreds of times. I can't get tired of it. It's got so many good tunes. Closing Time, Singing in My Sleep, Made to Last, Never You Mind, Secret Smile, D&D, Completely Pleased, This Will Be My Year. Yeah, it's fantastic. It really is. Getting to the end now. I have a bit of Frank Sinatra, the hits, 180 gram. Greatest hits, more or less. Can't argue with that. Frank Sinatra is sensational. Had to get it. And this re-release, Stan Getz and Oscar Peterson trio. Yeah, this album, it's got a different cover this time round. Recent find, glad to have it. And that, I think, is the lot. If you like the video, be sure to ring the bell, leave comments, and till the next time, people, I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care. Bye for now.